Everyone, welcome to the second meeting. This meeting will be focused more heavily on mob mechanics. I have posted a link to the Doodle Docs in the chat if you would like to follow along. I will hand this over to Demo as he is the one that would very much like to talk more about mob mechanics in general. Demo, I hand this off to you.
The first thing I really want to get going is discussion point. What do you like about mobs, and what don't you like about them in the general content? Do you like Doom events? Do you like having special mobs? Do you like upgrading mobs? Do you like mana system? And this is for both what's in DBZ and what's in Nightfall.
I like the infinite upgrade for the zombie. I think that will make it so like there are no dragon games.
Okay, so infinite upgrades.
Yeah, they will get to a point they're way too strong for dwarves to actually defend any choke point against, which is I think a good idea.
Okay. So Fawn says she likes being sneaky and sort of finding unique ways to attack his mob. But what do you mean, like what kind of unique ways? Okay, so like in terms of movement and stuff? Okay.
I think I can expand that a little more to expand to say like you have meaningful choices as a mob.
What kind of choices?
Like no, just in general. Like you get to choose what you want to do instead of being forced to do things. Well, not even necessarily more mobs. It's just that as even like a zombie or whatever, you have multiple ways of doing things and they're effective. It's not like meaningless choices where you can go like any mob you want. It doesn't matter. It's like the choices you make matter.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's nice to be able to have different ways to get to dwarves rather than like having to take them head on or like find the secret pathways. Like, you know, just a mob that can get over the walls or...
I guess the big thing is we're like being able to do things in lots of different ways. Not necessarily just only one path forward. So that's a big part of it.
I mean, that tunnel thing you guys were talking about was really interesting.
Being able to dig tunnels underground and having a...
I mean, I do like the removal of like DBZ mechanic of breaking blocks for every mob. And having just a primary way of breaking blocks for like Goblin, which is I think a lot more, or digging zombie. I think that's a lot more better way to handle block breaking and pushing lines.
Like block breaking should have never been in DBCs. Like people get annoyed at slabs, but that was because slabs are actually effective.
Or you could have
it made it so that slabs were just thick and also ineffective.
Yeah, like I honestly disliked it when all mobs had the same rate of breaking blocks. I think it didn't make sense too.
Yeah.
You're talking about that thing when you punch the blocks and like they randomly take damage?
Yeah.
This is real.
Yeah, that was really weird. I mean, I think there's obviously some mobs that should be able to get through a wall and some mobs that shouldn't.
Also I like rare mobs being more rewarding, I guess, like raids or banshees, whatever, or golems. I mean, heroes are not finite, so I'm not sure how they will bounce, but like banshees or golems or like more rarer mobs do feel rewarding rather than like underpowered.
Yeah, they feel better.
They feel strong as they're rare, yeah.
And it's not annoying to the dwarves because it's not constantly happening. So it's like it's just enough to be
once in a while.
Yeah, it's just enough to be like exciting rather than like why this again, you know?
Yeah, I think that connects to the Doom clocks, which is like Dino suggested many times, it's gonna be a lot less frequent, but it's gonna be a lot more impactful to the game. Which is, I think, honestly gonna make those events a lot more exciting for both mobs and dwarves, rather than just small events that just happen. I mean, it is true that having more frequent dooms make it so it is like exciting, and it does give that feeling of tension, but I don't think it's worth it.
Doom in Demo's version has always been really weird to me, but I still can't really tell if it's just because I'm used to the other one, or I don't like change, or because it's not bad. Like, I think the only time I really didn't like it was when Ghostblades kept showing up, and that might be just because I don't like Ghostblades in general.
Yeah, I mean, Doom is unfinished, and that's part of the reason why we're having this meeting, to figure out exactly what would make Doom fun. So you do like Doom. I mean, I like Doom events as well. One of the things DBZ I like about Doom events is that whole chance of being a mob hero, because I think that's really fun. And sort of when you actually get that moment when you see that axe in your hand, where you see the open steed or whatever, then that's like, I don't know, it's like almost a rush of adrenaline. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Doom event can be done with having a lot of Doom events. They're actually impactful, honestly. I think only reason no one really likes Doom event in current DBZ is that they are really not impactful. Honestly, Strength 2 is a good impact, but Krongo himself is pretty just a beacon of strength that heroes just snipe to their spawn. It's just not that good.
It's not a bad Doom in itself. I think it's mostly the fact that it took away another good Doom.
Oh yeah, I mean, Doom's effect is good, but it's not fun as a player, honestly. The Doom might not be, like, impactful, but if it's fun for the player, honestly, I think it's good as well. But, like, the Doom is pretty impactful as it spawns Strength 2 monsters, which is horrifying to deal with. But, like, it's not fun as Krongo to just stay and spawn.
Because you get one-shotted by a hero.
Yeah. Or you just go to the mob spawn as a hero to just snipe the guy, which I did multiple times. Which is like pretty dumb.
Yeah, mob heroes will probably be more rare, but they'll be a lot stronger and feel a lot more impactful. And hopefully you don't need to be a super skilled player or anything to be able to use them and have fun with them. No, that was the problem with the old Krongo, was that if you didn't know what you were doing, you just charge in and you die instantly.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
But like it also had the huge responsibility of you can kill a hero in like 5 swings.
Yeah, and
yeah. If a good Krongo came, all 3 heroes died, and it was a bit sad for dwarves.
Golem's still underpowered.
Columns?
In normal
Yeah,
DBZ?
No, this DBZ. I feel like they die too quick.
It's not that they die too quick, it's that Demo like had really high armor values for C4.
Oh, okay.
Like, so they wouldn't actually lose armor. And even if they did, they would have lots of mana.
Yeah,
That was bad.
I mean, that's again like a balance change. We need to figure out exactly what numbers to put and how we're going to change armor and how we're going to have damages and how much health and blah, 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 blah. That's not the fun part. I guess just sort of to reiterate, the main thing about this meeting is like more a question of, do we want to have golems as a mob? Is that like, I mean, and I obviously I think that's probably going to be yes, because I think they're interesting as a mob, but those kind of questions about how's the system itself going to work and not how is it supposed to be balanced.
Okay.
Also, I've noticed in like, this is just like the reason they might seem to be going down easily as well is like when you're playing like the current DBZ, They'll go down really easy if all the dwarves like attack them at once, but then like if everyone just runs away and leaves one person, then they usually are a lot more deadly. And I think that everyone who's doing like these test runs that we're doing are more like experienced players, and so they're gonna be attacking them all at once instead of just letting them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Good point.
All of us are like you said at the beginning.
Also, people actually use bows against the golems, which is like where you're actually meant to deal with them, because bows still deal a tremendous amounts of damage in normal DBZ as well.
I don't know if
Oh.
anyone mentioned ogres yet, but I really hate how like ogres are super tanky, so they're like really hard to kill. But then they also knock you back, so like they're really hard to just like hit multiple times to kill them. So they just like sit around and can knock you all over the place.
I like
feel
how Fawn
there
and
should be a way to deal with them. Sorry.
like Fawn and Ella said like, the exact opposite things at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
ogres are
yes.
at least nerfed in like how far they can hit you.
They're
I
nerfed
nerfed their
both in
knockback.
health and
I've
yeah.
nerfed their health. I buffed their attack, and I think that's where I'm going to go. Might nerf their health a little bit more and buff their attack a bit more.
Yeah, I think
So this sort of-
only a skilled ogre should try to keep you in place. Like, just I think making it so a single ogre pinning a dwarf is not a good idea. Maybe like 3 or 2 ogres can pin a dwarf, but I don't think like a single ogre should be able to hold a dwarf in place. Like, there's something something that has always been common is that mobs are powerful in numbers. I think it's sort of lost in the it was sort of lost in the transition, I think.
Transition.
Is there a way to give
No,
an
it's
ogre
just-
like a swing cooldown?
So it's just it can't be done in Minecraft.
Yes, but it is a little bit more complicated, and it'll be awkward because I can make it so that like when you punch them, it doesn't actually do anything.
You can add
That's just frustrating.
You could
But
make
yeah,
it like
it's hard to tell.
you could make like a % chance that they'll do knockback. So like they have a 50% chance to do knockback.
That's
So it's not like all the time.
That's also very frustrating.
yeah.
not possible. Yeah, and
Because if you
the
land a
chances
hit
don't
and you
work.
don't throw, it's bad.
Yeah, I nerfed it to knockback 3, and I think that's actually small enough that it doesn't feel as bad, so
Yeah,
that you can actually get away from them.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I think it's ogres are in pretty balanced place right now. Honestly.
Wait, so they are.
I think they're pretty alright as they are.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they're alright.
Do you want to talk about Fawn's
Yeah.
point now?
Yeah. Well, we can discuss a bit more about ogres when we get to special mobs and stuff like that. But so Fawn's point was, don't like how helpless you feel that people can proc. Yeah, that's the big thing, and this is like one of those things that it's like it's this really delicate balancing game, because like if you make too many things not proccable, then it's just not fun being a dwarf because their proc's useless. At the same time, if there are not enough things that are proccable, there are too many things that are proccable, it's just not fun as a mob.
There's ways to counter proc without adding more unproccable mobs, and I'd really rather not go that direction because what's the point of a proc if you can't proc all the important monsters?
Yeah.
Yeah, so generally the way to counter proc has been through faster monsters and through Rebirth. So we could try to
Okay.
expand it that way. Like we could have mobs see faster. Like I feel like zombies and with Pursuit should be up a bit faster.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
you could have like a digging zombie variant, which is also like super fast.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
then things
I
like
think that helps with like say the Flame Lancer. Like the Flame Lancer has like something like 50% speed buff,
Yeah.
which is huge.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They can really easy to get away from a proc.
Also, like I think I said this before, but like procs were powerful before because they were rare, but now that like dashes and malices and like procs are pretty easy to get nowadays, so it's a lot harder to like balance. Yeah, like
You can put Dragon Skin on a cooldown, which would make it a lot more balanced. You like?
what do we have?
That's what it used to have a long time ago.
Don't we have power shot now?
It's not implemented, but
It's not
that
implemented.
Yeah,
would be
Like-
something.
Like power plus proc shot, basically.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't. Like it just does like it's a normal bow, and it should be powerful as a bow, but it won't proc.
I mean, yeah. If I think also like doing those kind of things do reward skilled players. Like only skilled ogres can pin dwarves down. I think a skilled dragon skin can actually get proc off AIs by hitting one multiply. Yeah, I think that is good too,
Mm,
rather than making the game too easy.
I think skill should come from keeping the proc instead of getting numerous procs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because if you're not good at PvP, you're not going to be able to roll the proc very well.
I mean, like, I think AIs feel a lot more competent already. Like, they can soak up a lot more damage. And yeah, I'm not sure, like, I mean, they do still run into procs. That's like what they do, but like, I think they are a lot more competent, I guess.
I don't know. I like procs as they are. Like even being a mob, I mean I see all the green particles. I'm just like, get out now, run.
Yeah, that's one thing players don't do a lot, is run away from procs.
I mean it's really just, people with procs get greedy. They'll go after you. Just kind of lead them on a bit, circle around, and suddenly they're procless and without any eyes
That's
to
the
go.
fun of mob.
Yeah, I mean it's not hard to have tactics against a proc. At least I think so.
No, I think another thing is that like even if you don't have a proc there, like dwarves are a bit too tanky right now, so even if you do that, it doesn't really matter. But they can just kind of like walk back and making that more punishing, like proc wise as well.
I don't know if I've been getting really lucky, but it hasn't seemed hard for me to take down a dwarf. Like not
I mean,
like 1v1 them, but like just slowly whittle them away. Which I mean is basically what DVZ is.
yeah, game of attrition.
That's
That's what it says.
Especially because it's a lot harder for them to regen armor in this. And even when the shrine falls, they barely get anything back.
That's a good tactic, actually.
Yeah, I agree with Kud because like multiple games I played as dwarf, I felt my armor was going down at appropriate paces. Like it wasn't too fast. Like sometimes it felt a bit fast, but I think that was just me being overconfident and too like far out forward. Like I think armor paces like armor is paced pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a dwarf down and they run away to heal up or something, or maybe it might just be because we have a small group playing the games, because when the dwarf usually runs off, there's like no one back there to heal them, and then the shrine falls and they get a little bit back, but they'll still be weak by the time you get to them. But I imagine if there was more players, there'd be someone with regrowth back there that could help them.
Yeah.
Or Arthea.
Or Arthur.
How exactly should mobs be structured? So for example, at the moment in DVZ, you have one upgradable mob, the zombie, and it has only one upgrade path, and you have specials that spawn pretty frequently, and you have doom events that follow after, and the doom events usually spawn a wave of mobs. So that's how DBZ currently works. What would you like to see in Nightfall? What kind of changes there?
Maybe an upgrade system. I always liked that in DBZ.
Okay. So more mobs,
Yeah, more mobs that
Yeah.
have different branches of
different branch trees. Okay.
upgrading. Yeah, that was always fun.
Or
Different
maybe
paths for zombies, different paths for skeletons, different paths for gobos. Not necessarily for special mobs. There's no point having too many mobs, then that's clutter.
yeah, it's just gonna be harder to balance.
I think
Maybe
there should
like,
just
I would
be
rather have
three primary mobs, whether it be skeletons, zombies, and gobos, or if you want to change out gobos or skellies for another mob to be, but definitely something like 3 just regular mobs that you can spawn all the time from the beginning, and those have the trees. And I don't think there should be trees for any other special mobs.
Yeah, I agree.
Agree.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe like mob wide upgrades, like just a general upgrade, like maybe passive mana regen or just mana you gain from breaking torches.
What do you mean, like you buy one upgrade and that'll affect all of the mobs you can spawn as?
It's like a passive upgrade that you always have. Like when you spawn as a mob, you will always have that. Like
Okay, so with the global upgrades, that was something I did have an idea for. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. And I mean, like the way I had it envisioned was like you wouldn't buy it, you'd contribute to it, and then once enough mana was contributed to it, then the upgrade would happen. So it's like a group thing.
that's a lot more better than what I had in mind.
So like it would cost, say, 5,000 mana to increase all mobs attack by 5 or something, I mean, whatever. And then so you can put in 100 mana, and then there's 100 mana in the pool, and so you need another 4,900, and so on, and everyone can
Yeah.
contribute.
I like that idea.
What would the upgrade be? Like more damage, or
I mean,
damage, more health,
whatever.
stuff like that.
probably stuff like that. Actually, this does tie into an idea I had for specials, where specials you'd only start with a couple of specials, but you could unlock more, and so maybe you can unlock them via upgrades.
Regarding that, I think it's a good idea to split the specials up to like different groups regarding their power, like maybe like common special mobs, rare special mobs, which I mean we already have like
I mean, I don't see how that's different. Like they spawn at different rates.
yeah, but like do they already like all of them? Do they all have different rates or like? do
Yeah, they all have different rates.
Yes, they're all independent of each other.
Oh, okay.
But I do kind of like the idea of categorizing them for the sake of, like, say if we have, you can start with all the common special mobs, and that might be like, I don't know, rat, spiderling, and maybe wolf, I don't know. And then you can have rare ones, say ogre, I don't know what other ones there are. Let's just lump ogre, golem, and banshee, for example, together. And then you can, I don't know, start with one random rare special mob, and that would be random each game, so it's a little bit different. And then you'd have to unlock the other ones if you wanted them, but they might not get unlocked in the game or whatever, and that's up to how people contribute stuff.
I
Would
feel like
this be-
that's not gonna work well in practice because people are greedy, and I don't feel like they'll contribute to like a global pool very readily. They'll rather upgrade their own zombies.
That's true. There's that possibility. I mean, we can also have it so that with those ones that they will upgrade over time anyway. So it's almost like a Doom clock.
can we just do away with the whole Doom clock thing? Like, can Doom just be like kind of on a rail? Like it'll just happen.
Yeah, like so that you can't put points into it. I was actually thinking the same thing. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I mean, people are gonna, if there's so many other
It-
things to put into, and then there's still Doom Clock,
Yeah.
and
I feel like that almost makes it a bit better, honestly.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was gonna say the same.
Yeah, I think that just
I mean,
makes things a lot
that way
more-
you could just like
But-
even kind of
Huh?
figure when the right time to do a Doom is.
Yeah.
Like
Easier to balance
just
and
just to keep games at a certain length.
Yeah.
not just
No.
that, like Doom Clock, like mana putting exists for a mana sink on it. Like that's the whole.
I mean,
video
it's
was
just
to-
something to
was
do with
get
your mana
sink,
after you're
so
done
Yeah.
upgrading.
Yeah. Yeah.
since we have that, I don't think we need something like that anymore.
And like
And
It was
our
supposed-
goal to make DBZ like the Dooms better, like stronger and more rare, aligns with that. I think so.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think I agree
Good.
because we should have like communal mana pools to be as few as possible.
As what, sorry?
As few as possible so that people's manas aren't divided into multiple things. We should only have a few very meaningful like things you
Yeah.
can put mana into if it's like for the entire team.
would it be possible if each player gets to decide what buff they want? Like they get like a token to spend. I don't know, or like a gen.
Oh, that's interesting.
Maybe this might be too complicated.
I mean, but then at that point, why didn't like what's the point of having a communal then? Why don't you just have it for your, like upgrade yourself?
I mean, it's like a big pool that everyone gets, and if it's done, then
I mean, no, I
everyone gets
understand.
it.
Like, what's the difference? I mean, it's like why shouldn't you just be able to upgrade your own things?
I mean, if there's a communal thing for like 5 different mobs, it's just going to be split all over the place, and no one's ever going to get anything.
Maybe a package.
But if I mean, I like Arrow's idea. Like Demo, you know, Annihilation. When you kill the Wither, you get the boss buff, and then you can just
Mhm.
choose what you get out of it.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it being like, I guess, like an upgrade token. Like you can just you get the upgrade, and you can pick which mob becomes upgraded. I don't know how.
I did
Good.
suggest it, but like it would bring another like currency, and it's a bit like complicated as well.
I think we should try our best to keep things very simple
Yeah.
because complexity is not fun.
Also, when like special mobs are unlocked, would it be like for all mobs or for like random for each player?
I would probably for all mobs, simply because A, that's easier to implement, but also B, there's our special spawn at the moment, where they spawn in a set amount, and so people actually
Yeah.
have to use them up. I don't know. I guess it can work on a per player basis, but it is a little bit more complicated. But if people feel it's significantly better, it's possible. I guess another thing to keep in mind also is that people will die as dwarves in the middle of the game. So it should be fun to play as a mob, regardless of when you die, and you shouldn't feel like you're constantly playing catch up.
Just give them mana when they die.
No, I mean you should
I mean-
just catch them up to put them on the level playing field. I guess.
Yeah, that
That's
shouldn't be
kind
too
of-
difficult to balance. Just give them mana when they die.
I guess.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Enough of a solution that they won't play catch up.
And I mean, if you do go with the communal upgrade thing, I guess they would have access to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a cool thing.
But I feel like communal, if you like, adds complexity without really changing things in the greater scope of things.
I guess, yeah, maybe.
In all honesty,
player
that's
wide
like
buffs,
I hesitate to like say this, but it's like communism in a way versus capitalism. And like, if you do, like, you're not proportionally like rewarded for it.
Well,
with
I
the-
think that maybe
guess.
it should just. I think maybe it should just be the thing that you put your mana into after you've already done all the upgrades that you care about
Well, I guess that's
in the game.
it's another question of like, how long should it take to upgrade fully? Should you be fully upgraded by within
30-ish minutes.
30-ish minutes?
Yes.
You know, I mean, at some point, having a communal upgrade thing is just another Doom, isn't it?
Yeah,
In a way.
Yeah.
but not as impactful, I assume. It's just a small upgrade.
But like, what would the communal upgrade be?
Well, I mean, the example
Like-
was you upgrade a Gobo. Like, everyone sinks their mana into upgrading Gobo specifically. And once they get enough, it unlocks a higher tier Gobo for everyone.
But
I
why
thought
not
it
just
would
have
be like-
individual upgrades instead? Then, what's the point of making it communal? Like, what benefit does it give you? Like, or give? How does it make it more fun? Basically.
I think that the upgrades for each mob should only be for each mob, but that anything communal should be just very simple, such as extra damage or extra health for everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was that just communal upgrades just gave damage or health boost or like armor share to all mobs that you play as.
I mean, we could have just like maybe one or two things where like instead of just giving buffing one specific thing, that buffs like a whole range of things. So it feels like a decent thing to invest in.
Yeah.
Would it buff permanently, or would it be like a 2-minute buff?
Permanently.
Probably permanent. I say. I mean, we could temporary things might be interesting as well,
I
but
see.
that'd have to be
I feel like that doesn't really go with the attrition thing. Dwarves have like
yeah.
monsters keep getting
that.
proportionally stronger, and I feel like permanent don't fit in with that.
If we're getting rid of like dropping the doom clock, maybe we could do something like you pool in for like a 2-minute like curse of weakness, like what the Magi do.
That's
that feels
basically
like
the
what the
same
Doom
thing.
Clock should do.
Like, yeah. I feel like those things should be relegated to
Yeah,
games.
I think I'd rather have that be a bit more powerful and be in one of the Doom Clock events rather than communal events.
I mean, we could make it so that, say, if we do get like a curse of weakness, then that unlocks an upgrade, and then so whenever the mobs get it, then another weakness occurs or something like that.
Yeah, maybe like I think that's a very good idea, as it makes Dooms more impactful, like as a long run in the whole game rather than just one-offs. Yeah, I think Doom Clocks opening up more things as they spawn is a good idea as well.
We could also have a bit of fun and make it so that whoever dumps in the last bit of mana gets to spawn as a magi too. I don't know. Just
I feel like we should only ever have one communal form.
Yeah, that's yeah.
uncommunal.
One communal form.
I agree with you. Just like one at a time, or else it's going to be spread out.
Or
Yeah.
people are gonna
And
argue.
people are gonna be like, oh,
shouldn't
now
this
donate to
one-
this,
yeah,
donate to that, and then there's
Yeah.
gonna be
It's gonna be a bit
toxicity
annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bad things.
it's just one like the health one is up. Donate to health, and when that's done, then you donate to. Then the next one comes up, and that one's damage.
What do you mean, Mac?
Does that mean like Ghost Blades, for example? When Ghost Blades spawn, then you get the option of donating to have Ghost Blade spawns?
Oh, I don't think that is a.
I mean, I think that
Mhm.
should be a personal thing. Like, if you have like a ton of mana, you can spawn as one of those. But communal pool there should only ever be one communal pool.
I mean, that sounds almost like just pay mana to be, I think.
I don't think
Almost
that's a
like
bad
currency.
Yeah, that might work. That'd be interesting. Yeah, it might be interesting if say after there
Like
was a
every
best way
spawn
to
costs a certain amount of.
cost, but they would be permanently out.
And
Okay.
that's sort of like my idea with the mana rework, with you, rather than passively generating mana, you get mana for doing things. I mean, honestly, I don't think those should be communal upgrades, spawning as like different mobs. Like unlocking Hellhounds per se shouldn't be like a communal upgrade.
Okay, so what about them
Like,
just costing a certain amount of mana to
Doom-related.
spawn as?
I don't think like unless it unlocks it permanently, I don't think that works in DBZ. DBZ's attrition system, which is mobs get stronger every as time goes, rather than just staying the same.
Well, if the game works as intended, they should be generating a fair amount of mana at that point, I think, or at least have a decent amount of mana.
But they can spend them.
Yeah.
It's true.
Plus, if you're spawning as a unproccable Hellhound, you're gonna be able to regen all your mana if you're like being
Doing
careful.
good, yeah.
Essentially, your mana is money, Fawn, and you buy spawns.
That's actually where I got my idea from, which is Battlefront 2, which has the battle point system, which if you do good, you keep getting points, and then you can spend it when you die to spawn a special class as well. Yeah.
You'd only be able to spawn as them after this Doom event, though. Fawn.
So that way we get like the lasting effect of Dooms, but it's not just like constant, like
Yeah.
unproccable wolf.
I mean, the main thing I don't like about it is that if you pay mana to spawn as a mob, like it's really weird because like if you die and you don't get anything done, it feels like a huge waste of mana, and that's not fun.
Yeah, it's
But if it costs a small amount of mana, then it's just like it's not really a barrier to constantly spawning as them. So that there's this awkwardness of like you've got these two competing things, and
I agree with Nero and Fawn that Doom mobs should be in Dooms, and like
yeah,
paying a huge amount of mana or even like a decent amount of mana is still like in-game pay to progress thing, which is like a bit annoying. I think there should be a barrier between Doom mobs and special mobs. Like Hellhounds are Doom mobs and they can only spawn after the Doom, but like Wolves are just special mobs that can be like communal upgrade or whatever. Yeah, like Doom or a single communal upgrade is enough. The encouragement per se. I agree with that, Doc, that creepers were a lot more balanced, honestly, rather than gobos. You could honestly drop gobo boxes as a whole, because it really doesn't work, I think.
you need some way to destroy walls.
I mean, they could be separate upgrade trees.
I like the idea of them being separate food trees. You could either
Yeah.
be an exploding gobo or a box gobo. Whereas
Oh.
exploding gobo, your suicide gobo is easier to get off, instant gratification, but the box gobo is for those people who like to be sneaky and or a long-term effect. If you get all your bombs off and you protect them, then it explodes better than just.
I mean, box in general is really hard to like.
You could either do the quick option or the more time-consuming option.
Destroy the whole, yeah.
Probably make the Kaboom Gobo a lot cheaper. So it's if you just want to quickly get into if you don't want a particularly strong man mob, you just want to go in there and constantly explode over and over again, then it's a sort of quick, dirty way of getting an actual mob to play. And you can sort of rely a bit more on specials to do other stuff. So it might be a thing.
In the topic of upgrading gobos and skeletons and things, would they stay like? Would you be able to spawn as them always, or like just as a special?
Gobos and skeletons, you'll always be able to. They'll be like zombies.
It was like three primary mobs. Okay.
Yeah,
Three primary
this is like Christmas for that.
So, the gobos that spawn, like that just explode, I feel like it might lead to just gobo spam, unless, I don't know, maybe you don't give them a pick or something, so it's harder to get two.
Yeah, they won't have a pick.
Okay.
Yeah, so you won't be able to do much, and that's I guess another thing of making them cheap is that like since they can't do much, they might end up just studying up another mob. I mean, I did find that like even when gobos were available, like getting Kaboom was relatively cheap. I think it was like 200 mana to unlock gobos, and then like another 700 or 800 mana to actually get the Kaboom.
And then they instantly.
So it was pretty cheap to get a Kabooming gobo, but not many people did it because it's just it's hard to actually organize an actual gobo spam thing for like people constantly kabooming.
Is there a way to like replace ghost blades with inful skeletons?
Place Ghostblade with inful skull. What do you mean?
Because everyone likes inful skeletons, but no one likes ghost blades. But they do essentially the same thing.
I like Ghostblades.
A lot of people like those blades.
I think
Wow.
maybe one thing that I'd like to see is that Ghost Blades get removed from the Doom event and just become a special mod.
Special.
Yeah, I agree with that. But one thing I think is that there should be like announcements or like tells the dwarves that ghost blades have spawned.
No. Because then they're not as sneaky anymore, and then as soon as that happens, someone's going to go up and just defend, and only at that point. And it sort of defeats the point, I think. If someone sees a ghost blade, they can type in chat ghost blade, and then everyone knows.
That's true, right? Yeah. Also, there should be dwarves defending it, like shrine at all times. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. That dwarves with bad defense will get shredded by ghost blades, but dwarves with decent defense will actually defend against them pretty well.
Ghost archers.
Yeah.
Spoopy.
Maybe. That could be cool.
And another thing is that if you spawn Ghost Blades as a special rather than a Doom, then only the people who like Ghost Blades have to play them.
That's true.
Dooms should be reserved for the thing that everyone will always be happy when they pick it, so that no one goes, "Oh, it's a Doom. Oh, it's just a Ghost Blade," or "It's a Slammy."
Yeah.
It's like you
Yeah.
should always be excited for the Ghost. You should know that something good is happening on the Doom and not be disappointed.
I don't hate ghost blades when I spawn as them. I hate ghost blades from the other side.
When you're a dwarf?
Yeah.
What about it?
I don't know, it's just... Oh, thanks. They're just, like... annoying.
Yeah, they are annoying.
They're
together,
not
though.
fun to fight.
I disagree with that.
In Nightfall or in DBZ?
Either.
Okay.
I've never enjoyed fighting Ghostblades. Like, it's just an annoying chase running around in circles.
I mean, that's mostly, I guess, the dagger. I can nerf the dagger speed a little bit because it is quite fast.
I mean, it's mostly the teleporting behind you thing.
That I've nerfed that, so
Spinning and
I've nerfed the. I might nerf the cooldown even more, but I don't think it needs to. Yeah, I mean, they can only teleport once every 5 seconds now, which gives you.
I think we can. I think we can all agree that swams should not be in the game. Swams were a mistake.
I don't think anyone likes spammies.
I feel like we could use the model for something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like demos.
Also, Timo, you said you were going to combine rats and spiders, maybe?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I don't know. We can get to that a bit later.
What were we discussing about?
The dooms and whatever. I mean, swammies aren't a fun mob, but they're not a fun mob to play, but they're like a smart mob to play.
They are effective at like destroying the gold count.
Yeah.
Which is why people play it, honestly, for how effective they are rather than how fun they are.
I'd still like the idea of having any global upgrades be as simple as possible, and I feel like the Doom clock in DBZ, actual DBZ, was meant to just. I feel like the Doom clock in DBZ, it acts as as the game goes on, and you have your upgrades all done, that you don't have anything to spend with to mana, and so it's just a way to further to make the game harder and harder with more frequent dooms. But we can set that with just set doom times and maybe make them more frequent as the game goes on. But if we didn't want to go with that, then making the global pooled upgrades be a
No, you keep cutting out.
global upgrades being something that you put your mana into after something that you put your mana in after you have upgraded everything that you care about and that you don't have anything to do with your mana.
Yeah. I mean, we have infinite upgrades for that as well. So.
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't
I
think
forgot
we
about
really
that.
need a mana drain thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, I guess it goes back to like one of the things, like one of the fun things about mobs is like being able to choose what you do. So being able to choose what you spend your mana on is, I think, fun as well. I think the real issue that underlines playing as a mob is like, having global communal upgrades. It's one of the issues with having communal upgrades is like, I lost my train of thought.
I mean, there's been a lot of complaints about mana generation just as is, when there's really only like one way to spend your mana.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we'd have to have a lot more ways to generate mana. If there's...
I mean, we can just increase. I mean, that's sort of more of a balance thing of like, how much mana do you get and relative costs of things and stuff like that. There's just numbers that we can tweak, I think.
Like, I have listed a few ways to like gain mana in the Trello, like a few different ways actually. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like,
there are multiple ways to get mana.
I think the main thing we want is like just sort of, you can sort of assume that all the upgrades and stuff are going to be sort of balanced nicely, and the actual balancing can be done later in the game. But yeah, as I was going to say, is the hard part of having communal upgrades is that that you sort of rely on others as well to upgrade them, and if they're sort of split, Like that's the thing that sort of needs to be thought about. And how are you going to deal with that?
Plus, it would be hard to balance them based on like game size.
Uh,
I don't think a communal upgrade should be like multiple choice. Like it's you either donate to the communal thing or you don't. Which I mean, it sounds exactly like Doom, but
we can make it different, like in terms of what it actually does. And since we're changing Doom anyway, like it makes it different from Doom in that regard. So
I think I liked Nero's way. Like it just pops up like, oh, you can upgrade health now, and then once that one's done, it'll come up with the next one. You can do strength, or speed,
That's a
or
good
whatever.
idea.
well, actually, it might even be more interesting if you upgrade it and you don't know what you're going to get at the end.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Random thing.
Well, like,
Random
I mean, it could feel disappointing if the buff isn't as good as you think, and you
Why-
know, like multiple buffs, or yeah, I think that's my worry is that, but people still donate for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's bad if it does sometimes because it should be kind of frequent. Yeah, that's Ford brings up a good point. If people know, like, oh, speed, this is a terrible upgrade, it's not worth it, then no one's just going to upgrade it, and then
That's
that's
fair.
going to be stuck there.
Why
I think
do
it
like-
also has that thing where you're talking about where you like the, like, you know, oh, what's it going to be kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
I guess it could replace the anticipation for Doom. Like, what upgrade is it going to be? I guess it's not as big as Doom, but still.
Yeah, just this having it be more frequent, and that can be sort of.
yeah. I think that's a good way to do things.
I like the sound of this.
Also, like, I'll just say this, we have to understand, we have to just remember that, this doesn't have to be BBC. Like, I think we personally do that a lot, and maybe some of you, like, this doesn't have to follow the BBC style, and we could change it. We could get rid of Croc if we wanted to, like, it's
Yeah.
our choice, yeah. Like, don't get too, like, stuck in the DBZ mindset, because we can do whatever we want to now. We're not
Yep.
under control Rob or anything.
I mean, it's a good
you
point
know
to
my
bring up.
because you know sort of sold Rob a long time.
I think
Yeah.
that we should hand over control of the project to Rob, and so it should be under Rob's thumb.
Yeah, I think.
So we all agreed on the communal thing?
I think that's like what everyone agreed on for once.
Why didn't I
Do we still want to have infinite upgrades for certain mobs?
I think that it almost could replace infinite upgrades, so that I mean you still power up throughout the game, but now it's a little bit more interactive.
I've always felt infinite upgrades was really weird, but you know, people seem to like it.
Well, I mean, it's what you think, right? So if you thought it was.
The idea of leveling up still as the game went on, just a mob, not just my mob's maxed and now the only thing else I can get is Doom. I think people still like the feel of like, oh, my main, because you know a lot of people like to have that main mentality of like, oh, I main something. As you can see that in
Yeah.
Overwatch. And if your class still getting upgrades the further the game, I think that still will be something people like.
Yeah, like the difference there is that its own global upgrades will apply to every single mob, whereas infinite upgrades only apply to.
And I think it also helps with it being retroactive, whereas when new people die later in the game, they get all the upgrades instead of being like, oh man, all the people have been upgrading their monsters and I'm just starting, and even with this 1,000 mana that I get, I still can't really hold a candle to those other mobs. But since everyone's been upgrading, you come in at a much more So I'm in favor of replacing infinite upgrades and Doom Clock with communal upgrades.
I mean,
The pumping Doom Clock.
Yeah,
Is that
well,
something?
we're going to remove that.
Yeah, we're gonna remove pumping Doom Clock. I mean, you'll still have like the counting down. I mean, maybe, but
I don't
you shouldn't
think-
be able to upgrade Doom Clock.
I don't think the even counter should be there. Like, it should be a mystery, or maybe like maybe time of day thing.
I don't know. I don't think it should be. I don't know.
I think the
think it should be
argument
a
for
mystery.
removing Doom Clock, or the Doom Clock pumping Doom Clock item, is
Doom
that it sort of puts the Doom Clock on rails more, and it's sort of like it's for one thing. It's
Spammy.
definitely easier to balance because then you can really easily set times,
Yeah.
but also it's feels more like a thing, really, right? I don't know. Does that make sense? If I say it feels more like a thing.
Like, I agree with that because with the direction you're pulling the Doom Clock, I think it makes more sense. And also, in current DBZ, Doom Clock is way too spammy and it doesn't do anything most of the time. So it just becomes whatever. Let's just get it over with, rather than being excited for heroes.
It's the Doom Clock. It's so important that even you can't affect it. That just happens. It's beyond your control. I can probably also make it so it is slightly random. So like, it will take somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200 seconds, for example, so that it is a bit more random in that sense. So it's not as predictable. I mean, and the other option is. To do like that and make it the timer invisible completely.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea to just show less to players, honestly.
I've already removed it from dwarves because I think that sort of
That's a good idea, actually.
helps the tension there.
That's actually a good idea that I've never thought of, that Doom Clock is only shown to mobs. Like, that makes more sense, honestly. Dwarves should not be able to predict when it's coming.
Yeah, so I guess we're in agreement with how the communal upgrade should work, roughly.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, another thing to remember is this is not final. Things can always be changed. Like we can completely scrap the idea later. That's fine too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm in favor of something like this. I think the general attitude at the table is that most of us are in favor of this.
Yes.
It goes well with the theme of DBC, and it's mobs getting stronger gradually, and also it replaces the Doom pump system, which is not that good, honestly.
Okay. I guess the other thing in regards to how mechanics work. The other big thing I want to talk about is like how should specials spawn? Do we want to tie it with that? Could like maybe one of the upgrades be you unlock specials, or do we just want all specials available at the start? I don't know if we want to talk about that now or afterwards. I guess one thing to keep in mind also is that you might need to have some countermeasures for dwarves as well to get a bit stronger as well, because we're changing quite a lot of things to make mobs get stronger. So, but that should definitely have a cap.
Well, like, the thing is, dwarves should be very powerful from the start, and honestly, that power should last them the whole game.
The problem with making them powerful from the start is it can make the start of the game extremely grindy, and you can get the situation of like where everyone survives right up until the end.
I mean,
Yeah,
but
that's
then
true.
on the other end, if you make mobs too strong, it's like pointless for dwarves to build up defenses and like settle themselves in on the first try.
Which is what I disliked that Shrine could go down so quickly. Is that it pushed the dwarves back to the shrine way too quickly. I mean, that's again with us being a very small group, but like it's sort of it was sort of a big thing for duels because it was your objective and it goes down way too quickly. I mean, that's
Yeah.
another point, but like, yeah, I'm just comparing.
We'll probably change the shrine algorithm in the future.
I know,
Yeah.
noticing with us playing, like, I don't think anyone's ever built past first shrine. Like, no one builds defenses on the
Yeah.
on the following shrines.
Yeah. We had some second shrine defenses, I think.
I've never
I
seen them.
guess- I guess part of it is like you have to go back to defend them, and that takes a while.
Yeah.
And like when first spawns, because there's so few of us, everyone needs to go to the front. Yeah, I mean, the way I'm trying to balance this game is almost like a. I don't know what these are called, but there's a specific kind of game. It's a usually single player or like a co-op game, but like, you know, when you're like, you got this sort of fixed playing area, and then mobs and zombies or whatever will start spawning, and you have to like shoot them all or
Horde?
stuff like that. Yeah, horde game. That's the word. And like often you can get upgrade, but at some point or another, you eventually just get overwhelmed. I guess some games have an end. You can win them, but I think the ones that are more fun are the ones where you eventually just get too overwhelmed because things get crazy strong. But at the same time, some things more like hammer upgrades. So I might bring them back, but I might have to make them not based on kills, but maybe based on, I can put them on global kills or like, It'll be small stuff like that. It won't be huge.
Those games do start with like a few mobs in the beginning or weaker mobs, and just kind of scale up, which is the way mobs are at the moment. Like, they're not a big deal when you first start off, and then at the end of the game, it's just chaos.
Yeah. I mean, like, so it's good that they're not as terrifying, but at the same time, they do have some kind of progression. Like you have like gold, and you have a shop that you can buy things with. So that's probably not something we can do in DBZ, but having a similar kind of thing. Yeah, maybe something like that. That might be a little bit. Yeah, I mean, whether it's kills or close kills or global kills, that would probably just be an internal counter. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I want to avoid with just using regular kills. And I kind of like the idea of global kills because then sort of everyone gets stronger. One option is to have it based on the number of dwarves left, so that the less dwarves, the stronger you are. I don't want it to encourage like team killing though, but I don't know if it will.
If they don't know about it, they won't.
I mean, because like that's how the horn works in DBZ.
Yeah, but horn's such a like trivial that it doesn't really matter. Like
Horn's not trivial at all. If you have a good Bruce who knows how to spam his horn,
it is powerful, but like
really strong.
Yeah. Well, I don't think horn, like, people won't kill like teammates for horn charges. A live dwarf is better than a that's
sort of the thing.
Yeah.
That's why I think it won't be an issue. Yeah, decreasing cooldowns, that might be possible.
I think that's a good way to make duels.
You don't actually see the numbers on cooldown, so it'll be something you sort of feels faster rather than actually being like you see the numbers. So it's a bit.
The problem with that is it could make duels exponentially powerful rather than like just like.
What do you mean?
I mean, reducing cooldown is a big deal. Like maybe a little bit, I guess. Yeah, a little bit rather than a huge amount.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit per dwarf.
It's just very backwards, though, isn't it? Like
it is. That's the issue, but
I mean, at least the way DBZ works, the game. I don't know. Like the last stand is the last stand. And you're as weak as you could be.
Well,
I don't know. I sort of do want it to like scale up so that you can play some of the stronger mobs, but the dwarves also have a decent chance of fighting them off. There's just
Yeah.
the problem is that at that point, if there'll be also more mobs than dwarves at that point probably. So if you have more mobs and then on top of that they're a lot stronger, the dwarves are just going to fall within seconds. And I've sort of seen a bit of that in the test games we've had. Like often final just
dies.
dies. Yeah, like it's happened often that all the dwarves have died before final falls. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just like it doesn't like you can't
Oh,
really
yeah.
defend it as well.
Yeah. That's one worry I had when you were like buffing a ton of mobs. I thought like maybe it was too much for the dwarves to handle, but I think making dwarves very slightly powerful so they can actually deal with the huge buff mobs is a good idea, I think. But,
I mean,
yeah.
I feel like you can probably get away with doing things like buffing their armor or how much resistance they have. That might be enough.
Yeah, very. I don't think actually changing the damage, the resistance is a good idea because then it just counteracts the damage buff that the monsters do very slightly at the least.
So you're a bit more durable and stuff like that.
Maybe, but yeah. Maybe very slightly. So like,
I mean,
mobs
think-
still do.
I think one of the main things about why you fall so quickly at final is because you just don't get your armor back. Dwarves are really weak at final, just because they don't get any of their stuff back. I mean, they get a bit, but
Yeah, and that's why I'm thinking like having. I could even probably. This is something I need to do, and making maps a bit more customizable and stuff. But having it so that final shrine can repair dwarves faster might be a cool thing to add. And stuff like that.
I mean,
But yeah, I was sort of thinking just having it be a more defensive buff rather than a
offensive. Yeah.
offensive thing. So they're not
agree.
necessarily better at killing; they're just better at surviving.
that's fair.
Yeah, I think the killing rate should stay the same for dwarves. Rather, they need to stay alive against the hordes. That is a lot stronger.
We can try it. If it's hard to balance and we can't really do it right, we can remove it. It's just something I want to add so to prevent like snowballing.
I mean, I do personally kind of like the way final works for us now. Even though I complain about not getting armor back or anything, but like it feels final like we don't really stand a chance. But the other way would be like, I guess it's what DBZ does. You know, just a really long final stand at final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be too long because that's not fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I sort of want to know a bit of a mix between the two. Just try and be a little bit longer than it is now. We'll see.
One thing I'll say is that I like how it is now. I guess we could need more balancing, but how it is now is pretty nice. Like DBZ, it is chaotic in DBZ as well, but the main source of chaos comes from global bombs, basically. Like nothing else actually is that chaotic. Like
Yeah.
global bombs bouncing around is the only chaotic thing about Final Stand. But I think like the me and Mac in the final shrine of that one map with the dragon. That moment was pretty nice because it felt chaotic without being bounced around. I felt like I was still in control and not in control at the same time. Like yeah, I felt it was futile and like powerless, but I still felt like it was like I'm fighting my last stand rather than I can't see anything because I'm getting bounced everywhere. it was a good feel of chaotic rather than dumb chaotic,
Yeah.
which is DBZ. Which is I hate DBZ now. I hate Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy Nightfall a lot more than DBZ, honestly. That's true. Like, I really do.
I think we went off topic. I think we were talking about specials. And I don't remember.
I mean,
Did
wouldn't a
we
minute
decide
be
any-
special?
Probably. So did we decide anything about how we want to unlock specials and stuff like that? Or did we get off topic? on that?
We
I don't
got
think
off
it should.
topic.
I don't feel like it should be too affected by players.
Yeah, it should just open as it is. Like,
So
I think-
every special at the start?
No, I mean, like, we could have locked specials, but I think players should have minimal effect on it.
Okay, so like
game should control it like Doom Clock rather than players having it.
so basically be an alternate Doom Clock.
I guess, yeah.
Although
So-
it feels like it's making it complicated.
Maybe specify it's unlocking. Actually, no.
I think
Yes.
specials are fine, just being random
but, like,
chance.
If it's unlocking a special, then it's way too powerful to be like a communal thing. And if it's like not shown that it's unlocking a special, people will be very like, if they know that like unlocking a special is in there, then people would not like it if it's not unlocking a special, you know?
Yeah.
Because specials are a lot more fun than getting like, 5% damage boost, you know?
I guess okay, I'll leave specials like as they are for now.
Yeah, I think their spawn rate should be like the locked thing, like availability rather than being locked.
I guess the other thing that I had an issue with them is that it's really hard to balance how many they are, how like frequent they spawn, especially because like
I do think it should scale up as the game goes on. Like,
players.
more
Should
frequent.
it should be more frequent, or should they be spawned in larger groups, or both? Exactly.
I feel like at the moment they were a bit too rare.
Too rare? I thought they were too common at the moment.
I feel like they're
The
too
raids?
common.
Or randomly select someone to spawn as the Wraith. So
that's
people-
basically a Doom
yeah.
event.
I mean, the only way to do that, honestly, is to just pick them up when they're actually alive. I don't think. Because I guess it is a pleasant surprise as well. Maybe, but maybe some people don't want to play Wraith. You know?
I like the idea of them spawning in groups, but only groups of the mob that spawns, so that so whenever there's a special event, then there's 4 wolves available and everyone. But then when there's a wraith event, only 1 wraith's available. But it
That's
shouldn't
what
track-
happened at the moment.
That's what's happening at the moment.
So at the moment, what happens is each of the spawn eggs, they have a chance to spawn, and they have the quantity that they'll spawn in. So, and then I think it's every 15 seconds, it like tries to spawn them. If it's successful, it sets the max number of spawns.
It should
Sets the amount
really
of
be.
spawns max.
It should be mob specific, shouldn't it? Like wolves, you would expect them to come in a pack. But
Yeah, it is.
Oh, what?
So
What are we trying to
each-
decide then?
exactly how it will work and how it will scale up. I think that's a big thing.
I just think it should be more rare.
Just
Because like I'm at the point where because like currently golems and wraiths have 150 chance of spawning, and that's like so small that it creates this weird things of like I've often had that there are like 3 golems per game, but sometimes one or maybe even none, no wraiths. And that's just because how probability works in that such a small range.
I've
So I don't
only
know.
seen wraiths twice, and they've been dark both times.
And the golems have exactly the same number of probability. I checked like 5 times because like it seemed weird, but that's just because they have such a small probability of spawning that.
Funny thing is, I've seen a lot more golems.
Yeah, no, that I did too. That's exactly my point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
That's sort of why I'm unhappy with how the mob spawn mechanic works at the moment. I mean, one option is to make it so that it updates less frequently, and then I can up the probabilities again, and then they'll sort of be a lot more evenly distributed.
Yeah, I like less often mob specials.
The other option is to make it so that, so at the moment the probabilities are completely independent. So, you know, whether a wolf spawns doesn't affect the chance at all, whether a rat or an ogre or a golem or a wraith will spawn. But we can have something that affects that. I know in DBZ, I'm pretty sure the way that works is that every, I think it's 30 seconds, that it will pick a random thing to spawn. So there will always be at least one special, but it chooses it randomly. And I don't like that because it like then it makes things like golem just as likely as wolves or something. But we can sort of alter the probabilities of that.
I mean, another thing is that it's hard to tell if mob spawning is alright because, you know, we don't have what would be a
That's
typical
true.
game.
That's true.
We don't go like the full length, I guess. It's pretty safe to assume we have way more spawns in a longer time frame.
Yeah, I guess I just want to see like, do people have any other ideas how specials want to be handled? Because I mean, if you want to sort of, this is a completely different idea of how to handle spawning them, you know, now's the time to say it because I'm more than happy to rework the changes right now because, yeah.
I think it's good. Like, just me personally, I think it's fine.
Okay.
Because if we assume this is like the equivalent of Jimmy game, then this would be fine.
Okay. Yeah, so we sort of talked about most of this stuff anyway, so I don't think there's too much to say. But I guess sort of be nice to have a plan of what kind of mobs we want for this. So we said we want zombies, skeletons, gobos for our credible mobs. Gobos, we had 2 paths.
Destructible.
Anyone have decent names for them?
For the zombies or the gobos?
Destructible.
Gobos.
Gobos, the creepers had 2 branches before, which is destruction and destruction and damage.
That's just kind of
was
boring.
offense.
I'm not lying. Wallbreaker.
Was it Wallbreaker? I don't remember it being Wallbreaker. Oh yeah, okay.
Destruction was one of them.
Yeah, destruction. I think Wallbreaker could work.
Maybe Wallbreakers. Stonecrack.
Skullcracker. Yeah.
Yeah, the other branch back then just made creepers more tankier.
I think that's a bad idea.
We can reserve that for zombies, I think.
If it was a game entirely about creepers, they would be engineers.
What?
What?
Oh. Actually, I guess on that point, do we want to use them as gobos still, or do we want to change?
I mean, like, are we going with the basic gobo bombs, place down and kill?
Well, since goblins have always been very or at least it's some lords, goblins still blow things up. I think we could still call them goblins, but just call them goblins and just have Gobo be slang, but not be the professional terminology we use in the game.
Engineer
Yeah,
mechs.
I mean, I guess the main thing was like whether, because DVZ uses Gobos and whether they don't used to use.
Or words, so we just use goblin as in game, and then Gobo will just be slang.
It's hard
Gobo
not-
is what they call themselves, isn't it? I think it's
Yeah.
called Goblin in the menu. I mean, like, one thing I'll say is that the whole reason skeletons were put out of the normal mobs is that there was no, like, downfall to dying to skeletons. Like, they could just come back and go back to their sniping spot. I mean, like, I think we talked about this, but, like, how skeletons, how dwarves weren't, like, rewarded /
Yeah, and that's a problem. We can get to skeletons in like a bit. I want to sort out the goblins and zombies first, because I think we basically have a general idea with them. I just want to finalize things. So I guess I can call them. I mean, the main reason I bring up goblin name change is because like now's a good time to change it if we want to. Because I do feel gobos are kind of very characteristically DBZ things.
yeah.
So, I mean, it's not just like how. It's not just goblin versus creeper. It could be anything else.
I mean, not too many things from DBZ actually came from DBZ. Like, honestly, most of them probably came from World of Warcraft and stuff as well. I've not played the game, but probably.
I don't believe anyone feels very strongly about renaming. Maybe we just leave it as goblin.
Sure.
So you would like to think about mob mechanics? We can talk about names some other day.
Yeah.
Since this
Sure.
meeting is already going pretty long, but so
Yes.
we know we want the two mechanics for goblin is the wall breaker and the damage. Oh god. So Gobo, the suicide Gobo and the box Gobo.
Yep.
All right.
I think that's all there is to say for that.
That's all there is to say about that for now. Let's move on to
Zombies. I think zombies are kind of settled anyway. So that there are currently.
So your brutal stone skin and furl.
I did write quite a lot in Trello about like the description and what kind of archetype I'm suggesting. I'm not sure if people agree to that, but that was one of my ideas. Should be the zombie thing.
I just want to say I don't like fighting baby zombies.
I don't think baby zombies should spawn naturally.
As AIs, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
But I think they could be fun as a player mob.
Okay.
Alright. So,
Do we want to have upgrades beforehand, or when should you choose which zombie you are? Right from the get go, or?
I think you should choose in the middle. Like there should be few upgrades, and then you choose. Like
attack and defense, attack and health upgrade, some attack and health upgrades first, and then you can unlock those paths.
you know when if you upgrade the defense offense tree a few times, then you get more options. I think that's when it should split.
Okay.
Like stone skin is if you do 5 upgrades, it says, would you like to become a stone skin? And then if you do, then you're locked out of the other options. And if you upgrade attack 5 times, then it's like, would you like to be feral zombie? Well, it wouldn't ask you, but it would have that icon show up along with vampirism or pursuit. I like that idea.
Also with that, so I guess having Keen and Stone Skin under defense and Brutal and Feral under attack probably make the most sense.
I was I was thinking, what are Feral gonna be like? Because I was looking at these and Feral does not really have too much.
Feral's probably the least fleshed out idea
Yeah,
we have.
yeah.
But it's just something that's a lot more aggressive, but also
They die a lot.
quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like pseudo wolf, I guess.
Yeah, kind of.
They I suggest making rebirth rates different for different types.
Yeah,
of
no,
zombies.
definitely. I'm pretty sure that probably Keen and Feral probably won't have any rebirth at all.
Yeah, that's something.
Stone Skin
Or-
shouldn't as well.
Stone will have a little bit, but maybe not
Yeah,
as much.
maybe a little bit. And I suggest, I mean, this is again talking about balance, but it's another idea. Just give them rather than spawning them with full health, give them regening health.
The Stone Skin?
Yeah.
Oh, what do we want to do for skeletons? So what kind of upgrade trees do we want? Do you want whether do we want to put Flame Lancer there, or do we want to keep that special? I honestly feel like having Flame Lancer is better as a special.
Yeah.
Especially because it already lags people's computers like nobody's business.
That's true.
Flame Lancer Nerf.
I could have like a knockback skeleton.
Oh yeah.
So, how many things do we have that knock back dwarves?
Only ogres.
Ogres. I think that's. Oh, and the hammer.
Ogres,
That
Gobo
hammer.
explosions, hammer, and possibly the
It's fine.
Poison
That's alright.
It's a bunch of little knockback.
I just don't want to end up like simulating Gobo boxes by having everything knocking players around anyway.
Okay, so we want a knockback Scully?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, sure.
Any other Scully ideas, or are we just having two?
The Wither, Silver Wither, and Infiltrator skill.
Actually, are we having actual infills, or we're just having knockback?
Mm,
Where?
Isn't that what we're calling Infiltrator?
Well, infill sort of implies you can go behind China protection. I don't want to call it.
if
I
we're
mean-
having
I'm
sorry,
okay
go
with
on.
that.
I mean, if we're having Ghost Blades, I dislike the idea of having a second mob that can
Yeah,
keep spawning to infill. I think that's a bad idea. Ghost Blades are at least controlled because like unlimited amount spawns at a time, but like infiltrator skeletons just keep coming.
it was a
Which
little
could
bit
keep-
annoying having it constantly.
Yeah.
I do like the vine thing though.
Yeah, mine's
Yeah.
have like a good
Alright.
utility skeleton.
Yeah, so that'll be the utilities. So
I mean, what would he do besides making vines?
Make more vines.
knockback and the poison.
You can combine them with the poison. Sounds like an extremely annoying mob to fight.
Yeah. I mean, it was. There was 4 skeleton types, I think. Flame Lancer with a infiltrator, which gave which was a knock by impact skeleton, and infiltrator, which was they snared dwarves, poison and slowness, and then impact and the snare skeleton got merged into one. So it was basically impossible for dwarves to actually get the infiltrator skeleton because they knocked the dwarves back, gave them poison, and then slowed them.
I think as long as you make the I guess utility skeleton more just really weak, should be fine. Like they could probably keep the dwarves away, but if the dwarves got close enough, probably no way the skeleton would get away.
Yeah, maybe. Upgrades. I guess we can sort of leave it as just those two at the moment and leave Flame Lance as special. And we can implement those later, I guess. Does anyone else have anything they want to say about specials? Okay. Doom events. Okay.
Big one.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yes.
What Doom events do you guys want?
All of
Do we want Doom at all? I think we do.
I think everyone really likes it.
them.
I like the idea of having every Doom come with a Doom hero.
I like that as
sorry.
being a guideline, but not necessarily a requirement.
Okay, yeah. But I think most of them should. People like being a hero. Like you said, they like seeing that axe in their hands.
Yeah, it's a Ghostblade axe.
And it's a Ghostblade. Yeah, and that's why Ghostblades should be removed from Doom.
They say weapon looks like one. Rob was too lazy to make another texture.
Because nobody likes it for Doom. They go, I mean, you might like being a Ghostblade, but whenever you see that Doom and then it pops up Ghostblade, you go, oh, it's just Ghostblade. So
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, but
that's
something.
axed.
If you see the Bopen Steed, that's different. Just you know. That's definitely open.
Even if you don't see the Bopen Steed, but then you see Bopen appear on the screen, you're still like, yes, there's a Bopen. Because Shanties and hoping for Bopen are great.
I mean, no one wants to die to a sheep or a pig, you know?
Oh, yeah,
What?
I guess we can keep sort of jokey Doom events out of it.
I'm sure if you got killed by a barnyard animal, you'd be like, God damn it, this is bullshit. But if you got murdered by Krungor, you'd be like, damn it, Krungor cornered me. Or like, you guys left me out there alone with Krungor. It's not like, oh, that's such bullshit. What is the damn cow killed me?
Sorry.
Hi.
No, sorry, I fell asleep. I lost.
Oh,
Oh,
I,
it's okay.
I've been up till 5 a.m. This is a time is. What was it about? From Congo?
Dooms and they've got jokey Doom events like animals. Yeah, okay, we can keep the jokey Dooms out of it.
Yeah, no joke, Dooms.
Okay, so also, what kind of mob heroes? How should they play? How long should they last? Should they always last most of the game, or maybe a bit weaker? Is it okay if they respawn, like Bopen does?
Hopefully they will die by the time the next Doom comes.
You're muffled, hero. Can't hear what you're saying.
Oh god, oh my. Hopefully they die before the next Doom comes.
Okay.
yeah, I don't like the timer thing, but I don't like
Yeah.
mob heroes just camping out. You know?
I mean,
The thing is, since they don't have regeneration, it doesn't matter. They just have to go out and fight or die.
No, like if they wait for the next Doom, it's dumb things like they come up with. Because if you don't go into battle at all, you don't need to regenerate.
no, because people can start taking shots at you and sort of whittle.
Yeah. It should even the mob spawn like behind the pillar or something. It's just worrying because people do that with animals, and I'm sure they will do that with like mob heroes, so they get multiple mob heroes rush in or something.
I feel like part of the reason people do it with animals is because animals is just completely broken with Krungor, and B, often as a mob you feel like you don't really have much other choice.
Yeah, that's true.
How much time is between Dooms right now?
I mean, at the moment it's 1,000 seconds, so which is a little over 10 minutes.
So just kill any mob heroes that at a doom, so that.
But that's not
doom
a timer, and even though the time is longer, it still feels a bit meh. I don't know. I don't think there's a problem with them. Campaign.
I mean, I think we could leave it
Oh,
without a timer for now.
I don't mind them camping. Actually, to be honest, yeah, I don't mind camping. And if someone's camping excessively, we could just call them out for being a shitty Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you have to wait 10 minutes just doing nothing, and it's like you actually have to be running around because they'll probably have some kind of AFK kick. And if you get AFK, there's a mob
So
area,
yeah,
you're
just-
dead.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Just
I think it's one of those things that, if it becomes a problem, we'll address it. But for now, it's fine.
As you make them more fun fighting rather than more fun just sitting there not doing anything, people will most of the time just go for the more fun option.
Yeah.
And if they're shitty, yeah, we'll deal with them being shitty.
I guess the other main argument for Doom was like, how long should the Doom effects last? And so, my idea was always like, Doom should have a constant lasting effect, and the Dooms would build up slowly. But I don't know if that really works so well. Any opinions, or is this we're too tired for opinions and we should just move on?
I think we need to move on.
Okay. Mob ideas. Does anyone have any special mob ideas that they want to talk about?
Shadow bunnies.
Shadow bunnies?
Shadow bunnies.
So first, let's talk. So L wanted to talk about Minotaurs. What's his idea for that?
So it's kind of like a replacement for ogres that have like a charge. Here's a Trello post. Let's see where it is. Yeah, they have a charge function basically, and they can do knockback and maybe even bit of wall damage. They charge into a wall.
So what? Reskin ogres and Minotaurs?
Yeah.
Because it would change that thing.
Yeah, it definitely helps with the thing we were talking about before.
Distancing ourselves from DBZ, even if ogres are, in normal things. But the more things we can reskin, the better.
Like Elle was talking about, that ogres felt too.
Yeah, they're a little bit boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was asking if we could give them a cooldown for their attack.
I'm in favor of the Minotaur change.
Yeah, okay. This is a good way to do that.
Okay, global yay. Next.
Okay.
Next.
Okay.
So I was gonna ask if ogres were gonna be the same, like in regards to like how they, they make like full sentences and talk.
We can do that with Minotaurs, but
yeah. So with Minotaurs, would we go down the same route?
Yeah, I'd like to do that for a lot of the mobs actually. It's a nice sort of polish thing, I guess.
Right.
It's like,
but that's a voice line polishing kind of thing rather than a mob mechanic thing.
I mean, do we even have anyone who could voice a Minotaur? That's a really like aggressive character, I think.
Nero can do it. I mean, we did talk about like hiring. Well, not hiring, but getting
freelance
voice freelance.
Getting freelance people,
and that might work. The other thing is like specials that exist.
That are
like rats and spiderlings. Like especially spiderling, I feel like spiderling feels a bit weird. Like it's almost.
It does feel weird. I don't know why it's so weird, but it's weird.
I don't know what the point of it is. We combine it with like a venom burner type thing.
Just make venom burners melt walls.
I think we should just combine them with rats. That way they have a reason to break down the wall. They break down the wall and they sneak past the wall and they go and they eat the.
I think it's
Okay.
a little overpowered for rats to break down the walls.
Oh, okay, I'll probably change the way it breaks things. I just might make it not distance based.
Yeah.
Sort of, the block, the con. Sort of.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the sound of that.
I like if venom burners can melt walls, but then rats can poison players and will reskin rats as some poison thing. I don't know.
I mean, we have gobos for taking down walls.
That's okay.
I mean, I'd like to have a few other things that can do it as well.
We can't call them venom burners though.
Yeah. Call them
Flamey spiders.
poison
Spiders.
fires.
Hell spiders.
Spider fighters.
Hellhounds
El
2
Cura.
Electric Boogaloo Spider Edition.
But that's again in names, and that's not important for this mob baiting right now.
Okay. Spider Kings. We could do something like Spider Kings.
What's a Spider King? I never saw no Spider King.
Those are just basic mobs that can carry other mobs.
We can
Mobs. What does that even mean?
reskin. We can do the old. Crap, what? No, not old. The current spiders can be that, and then we can bring venom burgers back too.
Do we not have enough fire mobs? Like,
What?
we have hellhound and stuff.
We can make it something else. We can make it like an ice burner. Or
Ice.
There's Spider King. That's like
Frostbite spider.
pick other mobs up.
Frostbite spider.
yes, okay. Okay, I want that. Frostbite spider. Okay,
Frostbite.
there we go.
Frost spider.
No, frostbite.
Okay.
Frost spider.
Frostbite. Oh,
Frost
frostbite.
spider.
Yes. Okay, nailed it.
Yay.
I like Spider King.
Okay, we're at Spider King.
I abstain.
Okay, wow.
Like,
Right.
I don't think it'll even help too much in the game. It's just a fun
Yeah,
thing
it's just
to do.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Sure.
a golem.
I mean, they carry golems in.
Yeah, if a golem is don't too short like those things.
You know,
And
I
it-
feel like we should have more support mobs, like, that don't really do anything to dwarves, but just supplement other mobs.
It's idea for blaze cannons, which they absorb.
Arrow, you're so much quieter now.
It's because I'm lying down and I'm half asleep.
Damn it, Arrow. I don't know what you're saying.
The reason I didn't talk for a bit is basically I was asleep.
Does anyone know what he's
I was
saying?
just- he's saying he didn't talk.
He's sleeping because he's tired.
Oh,
Like we all are.
I want.
So, okay, so Spider King's yay. Okay,
Yay.
I think that's it. Unless Demo, you want to? Is there anything else you're going to say, or can I wrap this up?
How much pressure? No, so. Okay. Do anyone else have anything else they wanted to say?
Nero's
just
been
dramatic
extremely professional.
Yeah, good job, No. Have a round of applause.
That's
Thank
my
you.
bed.
Nice.
Cut's body yourself.
All right, I think it's obvious, it's official. No one has anything else to say, so I'd like to thank everyone for coming out here, especially the people in the Kiwi coast and the Korean coast and the Aussie coast. All you people, thank you for coming out for this meeting, and I think we actually got a few good things talked about today.
Someone
And
needs to watch it and then write down everything because I've forgotten like half the things we said.
Okay,
Nice.
that'll be even the side cut will probably do it. And you know what? I think we did cut down some time. I think we could do better next time. Some things I learned, but I think we have cut down quite a bit of time, and we can professional each time so that they're more bearable, and especially by the end that we're not completely tired. And I think that is it.
Yeah.
Meeting adjourned.
It was just like
Yeah.
You may stop
pounding,
the
and then Arrow goes, "That's my bed."
It's like, you can stop the recording now. Stop it.
Wait,
Stop.
no.
more. No.
God damn it! Stop recording
Thanks,
now. I don't need this now. It's half infused with my dreams. and it's horrible. Oh, it's horrible.
Got that part at the end.
Get it out of my ear.
Okay. Penis.
You're trying too hard, do you?
Hey, tell me to get drunk. Ow. Ow. Why does it hurt? Oh no, that's arrow punching. I thought the vodka was hurting.
You thought the vodka was
Because I just finished drinking the vodka and then I started taking damage and I was like, what?